All right, friends, Olight sent me these lights, and I'm gonna tell you what I really think about them. So we have here the Marauder Mini, the Javelot Mini, and the Arkfeld. All three of these are really interesting lights. I think they have some really cool, really compelling features. They also have their flaws though, and we're gonna get to that. Let's start with this little guy. This is a really interesting little flashlight. It's been quite popular recently. This is called the Arkfeld. It's a combination flashlight and laser pointer. And it has this really unique rectangular form factor. It makes it comfortable to hold, easy to pocket, but there are some trade-offs that come with that. So here on the side you can see this is just a simple E-switch and a selector ring. This allows for really easy control of the modes, pretty standard Olight affair, but you can switch it over and then it becomes a green laser pointer, which is pretty cool. The flashlight on here isn't anything too spectacular. It's about 1,000 lumens. It's actually pretty impressive for something so small. This has options for both cool white and neutral white, so I'm really happy to see them offering neutral white. Still not high CRI, but at least they have that option. The laser pointer is great for like presentations, messing with your pets, stuff like that. It's a bit weak. I wouldn't use it for astronomy. Olight is only rating this at less than 0.4 milliwatts, which is, you know, you're not gonna be doing anything too crazy with it, but it is a nice feature to have. I have no use for a laser pointer flashlight combo in my life, so I don't have a whole lot to say about it. If that's what you need, it's a good option, it's nice, I like it, great. Let's talk about my favorite flashlight here. This is the Javelot Mini. So this one's really interesting. This is a very simple, just a 2-mode thrower flashlight. So this guy is controlled with Olight's really cool 2-stage tail switch. So a half press turns us on to medium, and a full press is maximum. It's a very simple, very intuitive system. I really like using it. This only has a medium and a turbo, so there's no moonlight, but this is pretty much just a dedicated thrower, so I think that's okay. And what's really interesting about this light is the LED it uses. This has a unique round die emitter, pumps out about 1,000 lumens, almost 90,000 candela. Very impressive performance. 200 sustained lumens, and then 1,000 lumens will drop down kind of like a normal turbo, and it'll sustain about 200 again. It's not super bright, but it does throw quite far, and I really enjoy using it just because it's so basic. As nice as all that is, my favorite feature of this light is the battery level indicator. So this has a little motor inside, and when the battery runs low, it'll actually vibrate to let you know it's time to recharge, which is really unique, really convenient actually. It's very effective, and I like that a lot. I haven't seen that in any other flashlight, so cool stuff. There is one flaw though with this light, and that is the battery that it's using. So this is an 18500 cell, which is a little bit shorter than a standard 18650. It's a little lower capacity, a little less common. Personally, I feel they should have just gone with an 18650. It wouldn't have made the light much longer, and then you would have had a more standard cell, longer run times. But because it's using this magnetic charging system here at the tail, it's not too big of an issue. You just recharge the light with the standard Olight MCC. And it comes with this neato burrito carrying holster thingy mabob. I like it. It's pretty cool. I really like this light just in general. All right, let's talk about this guy. This is the Marauder Mini. This is a really cool flashlight. It's got a lot going on. It's got a flood channel, a throw channel, and 3 main colored LEDs. And it's got a pretty simple way of managing all of these complicated features. It's not perfect though. Looking at the front of this guy, you can see we have a giant throw channel right there in the center, and then a ring of LEDs around it, which includes 6 floody white LEDs, 1 red, 1 green, and 1 blue LED that you can cycle between. The performance is also very impressive. So the flood channel, Olight is claiming 7,000 lumens of output. My scientifically calibrated eyeballs are telling me it's not quite that much, and then I did do a rough test, and I was getting about 6,000 lumens, so a little less than they're claiming, but still a lot of light, and it holds that very well. The runtime test was pretty impressive, so great performance from this guy. And then this throw channel is actually the same LED that's in the Javelot Mini, so the same round die emitter, about 1,000 lumens, about 90,000 candela. There's a really good difference there between the flood and the throw. I'm really satisfied and impressed with that. In order to handle all of these different LEDs, there are 2 main control interfaces here. This right here is a switch. It's a dead simple switch that just switches between flood and throw. Really easy, really simple to use. I like that a lot. This rotary ring right here controls the output levels. So there are 7 output levels, and then when you hit either end, it also has a vibration motor that lets you know that you hit the end, which is pretty cool. And then this little rotary guy is also a button, so you just press it to turn the light on and off. And then while it's on, double pressing this will jump to the maximum output level. And then if you press and hold, it'll cycle through the different LED colors. So white, red, green, blue, and then back to white. And it'll do that on either the throw or the flood channel. So that's pretty cool and really easy to get the hang of. On either side of the button are a bunch of LEDs. This side here shows you the battery level, and this side shows you the mode you're on. So that's actually really cool as well. I am not really a fan though of this little rotary thing. I find it small and kind of hard to work with, especially when I'm wearing gloves. It's very difficult. The other thing I don't like about this light is the automatic lockout. So after several seconds, it'll just lock itself out and you won't be able to turn it on. In order to turn it back on, you'll have to rotate this about 90 degrees and then press it, which I have like a 50% success rate with. I find it rather annoying. Again, it's especially annoying with gloves. So I understand why they have it, because this is a very powerful flashlight, but I just wish you could deactivate the auto lockout. The other slight issue I have is that there's no moonlight mode here. The lowest output level is 100 lumens, which is a nice, useful output level. That's what I would use the most, but I just wish it had an actual moonlight mode. Pressing and holding, you can unlock it and then press and hold it from off to get to the lowest level, which is nice, but there's no way to get to the red from off. Now for batteries, this light uses a very unique, I haven't seen it in any other lights yet, 32650. So this guy's quite a chonker here. This thing is also an Olight customized proprietary battery, so it will not work in a standard charger. You have to charge it in the light with their MCC. And that brings me to my biggest issue with all three of these lights, which is batteries. So as I already mentioned, the Javelot Mini uses a 18500 battery, which is just not very common. This also uses an uncommon 32650. And in the case of both of these lights, those are customized cells, so Olight's basically forcing you to use their batteries. For most people, I don't think it's too much of an issue, honestly. And they all use the exact same Olight magnetic charger deal, which is really nice. I really like this charger. It is proprietary, but all Olights use the same thing, so you know, it's fine. I don't have an issue with it. I do prefer it over a USB port. I honestly just wish other brands would use it. This guy also uses the Olight MCC charger, but because it has this rectangular form factor, it does not have a replaceable battery. I think it's okay for most people, but the truth is that although I think it will last several years, it's just going to be e-waste in the future. I'm not sure that Olight's going to continue supporting this thing and replacing batteries as the years go on, so that is, for me, that's a major downside of this light. It is a compromise that you have to make to get this form factor, and I think for a lot of people that will be a worthwhile trade-off. But for a lot of, especially flashlight enthusiasts, that's going to be a no-go. These ones, at least you can change the batteries out. Whether or not you can use other people's batteries, I'm not really sure, but at least Olight allows you to change them. The other thing that I don't like about all three of these lights is the cool white emitters they're using. This one does have the option for neutral white. That's really cool. This one here, I think the flood LEDs they're using are Osram P9s. They're about 5800, 6000K, depending on the output, which is totally okay. I don't mind. I just wish they had a neutral white option for these. And then both the Javelot and the Marauder are using the same throw LED, which is a cool white. It's about 6000K as well. It's totally fine. I don't have an issue with that on a thrower. As always, I do like to see neutral white high CRI emitters, but Olight has been offering those recently on several of their lights, again, including the Arkfeld. So I hope they continue to do that, and I hope they bring that to this guy here, because it would be really cool to have a neutral white 6000 lumen floodlight. All right, so that's my opinion on these three lights. I really do like them. I enjoy them quite a bit. They have their flaws, and they're pretty typical Olight flaws, things that have always kind of annoyed me, but a lot of people are into Olights, and if that's not an issue for you, I think you'll love these lights. I really do. This Arkfeld here, MSRP for this guy is about $90. MSRP for this guy is about $100. I think it's a solid buy. Not exactly cheap though. This one here is $200. That's not cheap, but considering the build quality, the complexity, everything they're packing in here, I actually think that's a good value. I think this is a good buy for that price if it's what you want. That being said, Olight loves to have sales. They have sales pretty regularly. I would recommend waiting for a sale to purchase these because they'll probably be a pretty good value. All right, I'd like to thank Olight for sending these three flashlights. They did not otherwise pay for this video. They did send the lights for free, but everything here is my test results and my opinions. If you're interested in purchasing these, there's gonna be a link for all three of them down in the description. And if you're interested in any other awesome flashlights, we have a bunch of cool videos on this channel and some more cool ones on the way, so stay tuned.